And we're here live with Mr. Dylan Thompson with Fishing with Dylan, our local fishing pro. How you doing today, Dylan?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Good. Another Tiger Sports Saturday. We got Hockey Day going on today, and once again, hockey is played on ice, which is what we're fishing on right now as well. And what have you heard right now as far as with all the cold? How thick is that ice?
We're real close to 20 inches. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody told me we had that much. Lots of wheelhouses out. It's been awesome to see.
Yeah, I know.
The fishing has been hotter than the weather, from what I understand, too.
Well, that's good. I know Thursday night after leaving the hockey arena, I drove around the lake, and a lot of vehicles out there, the bigger vehicles and, of course, the big wheelhouses. And for even being at 10 o'clock at night, a lot of traffic out on that lake.
Yeah, it's go time. Get your butt out there and fish. I've heard lots of reports of mid-20s walleyes, lots and lots of them. The panfish report has been a lot quieter, but I assume that's because everybody's out in the basin trying to hook into a good-sized eye. I haven't confirmed it yet, but somebody said an 8-pounder got caught in Edgewater Bay, trying to get confirmation of that, but hard to say. It might be a fish story, right?
Wow, and sometimes you get those fish stories. That's a big walleye, though.
Yeah.
Especially for our lakes.
Solid. Yeah, very, very good. They're in there, but they're a little fewer and far between. But it sounds like the mid-20 class is abundant right now.
So good, really good eaters going on right now out there on the lakes. Panfish, though, a little bit slower, you say. So let's talk about the regulations a little bit here. What's our regulations here on Albert Lee, on Fountain Lake, Albert Lee Lake, as far as with walleyes?
Currently, you can have 6 walleyes with one fish in that bag over 20 inches.
Okay, just 1 over 20 then.
1 over 20, yep.
Okay, I did not know it was just 1 over 20. So is there a minimum on that too, or no?
Not on Fountain Lake. Some lakes have specific regulations, but 1 over 20, any size is a keeper, and then the other 5 in your bag have to be under 20.
Which still, that's going to get you a nice little meal.
That's a meal for a few people. You invite Grandma and Grandpa over if you get that many.
Yeah, I know. Here a few years ago, we'd go down there just right off of kind of the dam, and it was really hot there. Probably that 2 o'clock in the morning, and we were getting our limit every day, and they were nice, 17 to 18s, which it's a nice eating fish.
Perfect eating size. So
what else have you heard this week as far as maybe some of the other lakes around the region?
So some of the lakes to the west of us, like Bud and Hall, are starting to wake up a little bit. There's people roaming around there. Those yellow bass are going, and if you've never done that, if you can find that school, 100 fish days are, it's a cinch if you can get them going. And this is supposed to be a nice warm weekend, so get your butt out there and chase that school down and start hauling them topside. They're really good table fare also.
Yeah, and without the snow, really snow cover on those lakes, it's very shiny when you take your vehicle over that. So make sure that when you do get out of your vehicle, you're using your cleats, things like that, because it is a little slippery. I've heard a couple people have fallen. So yeah, ice safety definite is a must when you're dealing with no snow cover.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great advice.
Oh, as far as ice fishing tournaments, now we got, it'll be on the 8th, will be the...
the Albert Lee Angler deal is going this weekend, so if you got a kid interested in that ends Sunday night at 4 with their meeting to kick the season off to follow. Check them out on Facebook or shoot me a message, and I'll get you info if you have a kid that's interested in the Albert Lee Angler Club. And then, the big freeze is the 8th of February.
So tell us a little bit more about the Albert Lee Angler thing going on today.
So that's a panfish tournament. I think it's the best stringer of crappies and the best stringer of bluegills. So get out and chase some of them down. It's open to any student in the area from 6th grade to 12th grade. And you can, I think this one's exclusive to Fountain Lake, but most of the tournaments you can fish anywhere.
So what else is going on out there in the world of fishing?
We got the Minneapolis Boat Show going on right now up at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Skeeter just dropped a brand new boat this year. It's a WXR 2260, excuse me. That's a big water monster. If you're looking or thinking about a boat, I would run up there and check that thing out. And all the other boats up there. Tons of pontoons, anything you could imagine boat-wise, wake boats, all of it. I'll be up there this afternoon. Really cool deal.
Now, I know we talked here a couple weeks ago about shed hunting, and what have you been hearing about that?
Not much yet with the cold. I think everybody stayed inside, which makes a lot of sense. With the warm temps coming up again, go for a walk, no snow cover. That's kind of a double-edged sword. You won't find any deer tracks, really, but much easier walking.
What else you got for us today for the listeners?
I would recommend right now, as far as baits to try, like blade baits or vibrating baits, like a Rapala V blade or Rip and Wrap, Walleye X Ripper, Acme V-Rod, something like that makes a lot of commotion. You can work it slow and it vibrates really fast. Pick your rod tip up about 6 inches to a foot slowly, and you'll feel that blade buzz, and then just drop it back down to the bottom. You should see fish approach on your electronics, and they should gobble them things right up.
So you're really just bouncing that off the bottom of the lake then?
Yeah, pretty much. Make a little dust cloud that can be a good attractant. And then jigging wraps are another good option. They don't buzz as much, but those things are famous fish catchers. And those, just give them a little pop, let them do their thing where they shoot out to the side, and then they'll let them, settle back in or come back to center, and then just give a little pop again. With the cold, you don't want to overwork stuff, but yeah.
Sounds good. So what's going on in your life here now over the next couple of weeks? What do you all got? What do you got going on?
Oh my gosh, Dave, the calendar's packed. My wife and I are going to Mexico next week.
Are you going to do some fishing down there?
I don't know yet. We got to see if we can talk her into it. I think that's kind of supposed to be a break from fishing.
Well, that happens.
I never shut up about it at home, so we'll see. And then beyond that, we're sneaking into February, and then I think the calendar opens up a little bit after the Mexico trip. The boys have some stuff going on. Yeah, the big freeze deal. I don't know beyond that. I might have a couple free weeks finally.
Well, hopefully you can get out there and catch some fish. A lot of my friends have been kind of busy. I know I haven't even got to get out in a house yet or anything either, especially with as many hockey and basketball games, things like that. But I'm hoping here in the next couple of weeks I'll at least be able to get out and try to catch some crappies. I'm a big crappie guy. Once again, I'd rather eat a crappie than a walleye, and a lot of people think I'm crazy for that, but I just love, like I said, a nice and actually baked crappie. You put that with some potatoes, maybe a little bit of lemon, and you bake that in the oven. Oh, there's nothing better than that.
Crappie's my favorite, too. Don't tell anybody. It could be our little crappie secret.
One thing that I was asked about, we have a lot of perch in this lake. Now, do you prefer to eat fried, baked, or pickled perch?
Fried is usually my go-to. Baked is a close second. You get nice little crispy breading on there and put them in the oven. That's a pretty solid way to go. I am not big on pickled fish, and my Norwegian ancestors might scowl at me for that, but sorry, not my thing. Yeah,
I know. I got a couple buddies that they'll go get some nice perch and get those little fillets and pickle them babies up. Oh, that's just like heaven.
My wife loves pickled fish, and we'll do northern for her sometimes, her parents. I'll see if I can get a recipe and maybe put that on the Facebook this week. That might be a fun thing.
Sounds good. Well, Dylan, I want to thank you for taking a little bit of time today. Of course, busy weekend for everybody, especially you with the Albertley Anglers, and of course, Albertley Hockey Day happening today. So maybe not many people out there fishing today, but I would expect Sunday to be probably pretty busy.
Yeah, I've got an open window Sunday, and a couple people invited me. Nicole and Ted are going to be out of town, so that might be my first real good window. Nice warm weather. I think I'm going to make it happen.
Well, get out there, get your line wet, and everybody else too, and be safe. Once again, we've talked in the past, especially when it gets cold. Make sure you bundle up, because that's especially when you start sticking your hands down in that ice and that icy water. If you're out on a bucket, you can definitely get frostbite really quick. So, of course, if you're in the house, you're going to keep a little warm. But, yeah, if you're out there on a bucket, use safety as well. Watch the holes when you're out walking around, and be courteous to your fellow fisher people. So
you bring the holes up. With the warm weather this weekend, a lot of stuff probably will not be refreezing very solid, so that is a really valid point on something to look out for when you're roaming around the ice. Don't assume the hole's solid this weekend. There's a chance you'll get a wet foot.
Yeah, and that is never fun, especially unless
Nobody
you've got the
likes a
equipment
wet
for it,
foot.
which, as it does get warmer, people normally tend to not bundle quite so much with their waterproof boots and things like that because, your feet maybe will start to sweat a little bit. But, so be careful out there and once again, be courteous to your fellow fish person. So I want to thank you again, Dylan, for joining us on another Tiger Sports Saturday. It's always a pleasure, and we will talk to you next week.
Sounds good, buddy. Thank you.
All right, you're listening here to Power 96 at Tiger Sports Saturday. We'll be back with more from our sponsors.